All right, so today we're going to learn how to use the M multiply for matrix multiply and also for the inverse on a matrix. And so what I've done is I've put up a couple of matrices here, A and B. And what we're going to do is we're going to first take A times B, do that a couple times. Then we're going to find the inverse. Then we're going to find the inverse, and then we're going to multiply the inverse by a value and do that again on the second one here. So what we need to do is when we're doing this, we have to make sure our matrix works. So we have here a 2 by 3, and here we have a 3 by 4. So remember, the middle numbers, which in this case is a 3 and a 3, have to match. If we had something different, then we couldn't multiply these two matrices together. So since they do match, we have the 3 and 3 on the insides, and here we have a 2 and a 4 on the outsides. We know we're going to end up with a 2 by 4 when we're done. And so what we want to do is when we're going to wherever we want to do our multiplication, we want to highlight a 2 by 4. And then we're going to say, okay, we're going to use equals M mult, and it pulls up. And then we have to put in our first matrix. And we just highlight that. And then we put a comma. Then we highlight our second matrix. And then we put it in parentheses. Now, to make this work, and again, you have to have all highlighted to make this work also, you have to hit Control Shift Enter. So Control Shift Enter, and that gives us our multiplication. And so that is how you work on the M multiply, so matrix multiply. And if we think about this, we have a -3 times a -3, which is 9, and then we have a 1 times 0 is 0, and a -5 times a -3 is 15, so 15 plus the 9 gives us 24. So that would give us that position. And we could do each of the columns and each of the positions to check it, but we should get what we get out here. All right, so let's do that again. So here we're going to have A, which is a 3 by 3, B, which is a 3 by 3. So when we get done, we're going to end up with a 3 by 3. So again, we're going to say, okay, well, that's going to be equals M mult. And so we type in that because we're multiplying here, it says. And we highlight our first matrix, comma. We highlight our second matrix, parenthesis. Then we hit Control Shift Enter, and that's the multiplication. And again, this is just helping you to multiply quickly. Now, if we were adding or subtracting, we can't really do that in here. It's just as easy just to do, okay, well, here we have 5. If we're taking and adding, 5 plus 1 is 6. 15 plus 0 is 15. 56 plus 1 is 57. Or if we're subtracting, 5 minus 1 is 4. 15 minus 0 is 5, or 15. And 56 minus 1 is 55. And so the adding and subtracting, that's very easy. It's the multiplying and finding the inverses, which are hard. Well, at least harder. And so here we have a matrix, and it's again 3 by 3. And now we want to find the inverse. And so this is the matrix inverse. And so we have a 3 by 3, so that means when we get done, we're going to also have a 3 by 3. And so we're going to type in equals minverse, and then we try to find that on here. We can double click it. And this is the matrix for finding the inverse of, parenthesis at the end, then Control Shift Enter again. And that's going to be our matrix. Now, that's not very nice. Now, if we did it in a calculator, we could tell it to put it as fractions, and that would be a little nicer. But this is what we get out in Excel. All right. Well, we're going to do the same thing here. First, we're going to find the inverse, and then we're going to multiply by b, and that's going to give us a solution. And once you get to those questions, you'll understand what we're doing there. And so again, we are going to start with a 3 by 3, so we're going to get out a 3 by 3. And so we do equals minverse. So we find that, and we highlight our original matrix in parentheses. Oops, what did I do? I didn't hit a parenthesis. And then we hit Control Shift Enter, and that's our inverse. Now we're going to take the inverse times b, and so we have a 3 by 3 times a 3 by 1, so we're going to get out a 3 by 1 when we're done. And so we're going to here go equal m mult, and so that's going to be the function we do here. So we're going to take our inverse, comma, times this in parentheses, shift and control and enter, and we get our solution. And so that's the answer there. Let's do one more like that. So again, we're going to find the inverse. So it's a 3 by 3. So we're going to come up with a 3 by 3. And so we're going to have equals minverse. So we find that. And this is going to be our matrix. So we that, Control Shift Enter. So that's our inverse. And now we have a 3 by 3, a 3 by 1. So we know we're going to get 3 by 1 out. And when we multiply those, equals m mult. And first matrix, which is our inverse, comma, our second matrix, which is our B, parenthesis, Control Shift Enter, and we get our solution here. All right, so that's how you can use either matrix multiply or matrix inverse to help you with 4.4, 4.5. Hopefully that will help you.